And we are done. So this is what the finished product looks like. And now I have to take it and, pull any fat or skin that's left on it, which usually I clean it well enough. I trim it down well enough before I cook it that it's not usually a problem. And then essentially you shred it apart. And actually the juice, the stuff that's left in here, all that sauce, you're going to put cornstarch. You're going to mix cornstarch with water and then pour that in and let it kind of thicken up. So that's what I'm doing right now, is taking out all of the beef and the onions so that once we get everything out of here, then I set the Instapot to saute and get it really warm and bubbling. And then it only takes a minute or two to thicken this up to the point where it's a thick enough of a sauce to put over rice. And believe me when I tell you, I wish I could put it into words how tender this meat is. Like, the finished product is phenomenal. It's actually incorrect. You take half of a cup of the broth juice stuff and then mix in your 3 tablespoons of cornstarch with it. And once this, which is set to saute, starts bubbling, then you add your cornstarch mixture into it. And it only takes a couple of minutes. Like I said, it only takes a couple of minutes for it to thicken up. And then you're good to go. Usually I think I add my beef back into the sauce, but I'll update you when I'm done with this. So here is my bowl of rice, and I'm going to add, this is instant rice, by the way. This isn't the, the fried rice that I made the other night. This is just plain instant rice. 3 cups of water boiled to 3 cups of rice. Cover it, let it sit. And this is what the finished product looks like. So my husband, I don't know why, he always refers to it as Chinese food. I don't know if the recipe is actually Chinese cuisine type of recipe, but it's actually super easy. It's not very labor intensive or anything. And because it has the honey in it, it adds a little bit of sweetness to it, which I think is why it's so appealing to all of us. But then we just kind of mix it in and so good. So good. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. If you're in the grocery store, if you don't have beef in your freezer already, and you stumble across a tougher cut of meat at the grocery store, this recipe would work for a chuck roast, or, obviously with a brisket. Everybody likes to smoke them, so you wouldn't do it with a brisket, but any of those tougher cuts of meat would be perfect for this recipe. Hopefully you learned something.